the federal government, the United States of America. When the, I better get a napkin. I'm liable to spill a little bit here. Thank you very much. And here, I'll just brought yours up. Anyway, in case I spill a little bit, I'm put my BlackBerry up, and y'all try to keep me on time. Just hook me here when I get close to 1 o'clock. But if this glass is we the people, and the water within it are all the rights, powers, privileges given to each one of us as free people directly from the hand of God, great difference between us and every other country on the face of the earth that preceded us, that the idea was that a king or a queen would decide on a good day, if they're in a good mood, that they're going to grant some privilege to us as individuals. We in America understood that all those powers and rights and privileges came directly to us as free people from the hand of God. This is all the things I talked about, the right of self-defense, the right to protect your family, the right of privacy, the right to control your own life, the right to control your own money, the right to your gun case, your bank account, your school. It's all here. All of those rights, powers, and privileges, of course they preceded government. They preceded that. We were talking about the first city ever established in the world was in Anatolia. All of those things preceded the establishment of that first city. But when we, the people, and using Texas as the example, decided to create the Republic of Texas on April 21st, of course, 1836, the Battle of San Jacinto, which you can see right here from the Petroleum Club, we, the people of Texas, only agreed to give the government of the Republic of Texas maybe about that much authority. That might be a little bit too much. And then we retained all that individually. The right of self-defense, did we ever give that up? I don't think so. Why can the government take it away from us? When the Republic of Texas then became a state at midnight, December 29th, 1845, under the Constitution, you remember the United States Constitution says, and Mr. Jefferson beautifully quoted in his three principles, he listed 15, but the top three, equal justice, world peace, and then he said, the protection of the state governments as the most competent administrators of our domestic concerns and the surest bulwarks against anti-republican tendencies. The states retain, and we the people retain, all power not given to the federal government. They're under the 10th Amendment, the last paragraph of the Constitution, and all of you remember from English composition class or Italian or Norwegian, I guess, the same in any language, and in Turkish, that the beginning, your teachers all over the world teach you that if you're writing something, whether it be in Yiddish, in Israel, whatever, that the first paragraph and the last paragraph are the most important. Well, the founders knew that. It begins with we the people, and then the Constitution ends with the 10th Amendment. All power not delegated to the federal government is expressly reserved to the states and the people. This is what that means. All those powers are reserved to we the people. We gave a little bit to the Republic of Texas, and when we became a state at midnight, December 29th, 1845, under the 10th Amendment and the way the Constitution is designed, we, the Republic of Texas, gave the federal government about, that's too much. There it is. That's about it. And that's what Mr. Jefferson meant. But as a result of the war between the states, that terrible catastrophe, a war should have never been fought, and slavery would have died and dried up like the poisonous cancer that it was. And the founders knew they couldn't get rid of it at the time of the Constitution. They just had to compromise to make the country stick together. But they designed with the constitutional amendment process and the way they designed the Constitution, they knew it would evolve over time. Do you know that Thomas Jefferson came within one vote of eliminating slavery? And I point that out because he doesn't get credit for this, but he was a member of the original Congress of the Confederation. Remember, the first Constitution was Confederation that existed from the time we won the battle at Yorktown when the British surrendered, and under Jay's Treaty, actually, up until the time of the Constitution in 1789, we were under the Articles of Confederation. Thomas Jefferson represented the state of Virginia in the Congress of the Confederation, and he offered a resolution called I think it was the Northwest, one of my history professors here helped me, the Northwest Ordinance, I think. If you go back and look, Jefferson's Northwest Ordinance said that all states joining the Union after the year 1800 could not have slavery. And he understood that it was a poison that would, poisonous, dangerous cancer that would just dry up and blow away. And you know, it failed by one vote. And the one vote was James Monroe, who said he was sick that day. Now, we don't really know, but he had told Jefferson that he would vote for the Northwest Ordinance in Congress, and for whatever reasons, he said he was sick that day, and he missed the vote, and it failed by 1 vote. Had that passed, there would have been no Civil War. But because there was a Civil War, and that Lincoln was assassinated, this again being the we the people glass, actually, excuse me, this is the federal government glass. As a result of the war between the states, Lincoln's assassination, the Reconstruction Congress, congressmen that love to have press releases and say they're doing wonderful things for all kinds of noble causes and go home and get reelected. By golly, I'm doing a great job for you. I'm spending all this money, that this money just flies out, grows on trees. And then FDR and the New Deal, and then judges like William Wayne Justice that control our prison systems forever, and a Supreme Court that can amend the Constitution with a footnote. There's nothing left. I asked a scholar by the name of Robert Remini, who is the author of a great biography of Andrew Jackson. Robert Remini just wrote a history of the U.S. House. Make sure I get every drop out of there because it's gone. I asked him, I said, Dr. Remini, what's left of the American Republic? He said, it's gone. Doesn't exist. It's gone. Nothing's left. We're basically essentially a democracy, and everything's run by Washington. You know, it's so bad that an individual bureaucrat in the Department of the Treasury, unnamed, unknown, unelected, unaccountable, utterly invisible bureaucrat, issued a regulation one day and said that, this was back when I was in the legislature in the 1990s, I'll never forget it. He said that that you can borrow, take out a loan from a bank against the equity in your home. Everybody does that now. That's not that revolutionary, but it was revolutionary in the 1990s, and it's important to make that point here today because the state of Texas has a provision in our state constitution, did until recently, that said it is unconstitutional in Texas under the state constitution to take out a loan against the equity in your home. Now, what better illustration of how far we have fallen from Mr. Jefferson's vision than a bureaucrat? By golly, I'm going to get the hook. Can I have 5 more minutes? 3 more minutes? Bob, I'm sorry. Hey, think about that for a minute. Y'all gave me the privilege. I deeply appreciate it, and I'm sorry if I'm running a little long. This is so important, and you gave me the privilege, not one I get very often, to dive into this in depth because there's a lot of thoughtful people in this room, and this is important.